Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's every Thursday here. Remember that we're doing this Thursday, 2 p.m. A lot of times I'm live, but today I'm not live. This is by recording. Got some really great family stuff going on and just don't have the time to do it in the middle of the day, but I appreciate you tuning in. And as always, I want to thank my sponsors. I wish I had sponsors. My subscribers. Really appreciate everybody who subscribes. If you're new to the channel and you like it, please subscribe. Helps spread the message and it helps make the videos become public. Pop them up if people are looking for reading smoke, which is what I'm hoping, right? So, Chaz Stringer 1, welcome aboard. Andrew Hicks and Bodie Jeep and Eric Story. Hey, thanks for subscribing. Also to the Jingjiang branch of Hsinchu City Fire Bureau. Hope I got that right. I got some international subscribers, which is great. And special thanks go out to also Larry Thompson. And this video is from Newark, Ohio. So thanks, Larry. And reading the show notes from Larry's post. Pretty big fire, went to 3 alarms. But we're just learning some stuff at the very front of it from volume, velocity, density, color. And we're going to start on the same place we started with the SBSK post that went up on Wednesday. And just take a look here as coming out of the cab and just cruise around the back of the rig. And we're going to stop it here. And notice that this is, we're always looking at volume, velocity, density, color, right? And so one of the things that volume can tell us is sort of the relative size of what's going on in the building relative to the size of the building we're looking at, right? And it's not always a direct correlation, and we've talked about that in other videos, but in this one, we could say, look, there's a significant volume of smoke coming out of the structure, and it's a commercial structure, but it looks like it's 1 story. Maybe there's a 2-story section up front here. I think we're going to call this the alpha side because this is where we're working, although it might actually be in the back. I don't know for sure, but we do have a lot of volume, and we can see turbulence from this smoke. It's a little bit tougher with these helmet cams because they jump around a little bit. But yeah, there's some pretty good turbulence, and notice almost 2 colors here. Maybe some filtering going on up here as opposed to a little more open down here, but this black and dark gray is telling us there's plenty of heat going on, right? So there's a pretty significant working fire, and we can also see down the side here, right? So down this side, we can see it's over here, and we saw just the general volume coming out around the perimeter. So a pretty significant fire for a structure this size. And so if we look down this delta, right, and if we were there, right, I talk about this a lot, but if we were there, we get a really good sense, right, because our mind's eye and our eye would be able to take this all in, right? So in this case, they start working, and it gets, this is the way helmet cams are, but it gets a little jumpy. But as you look, you can see, really significant volume and velocity and density, but it's layered, right? I'm going to go back. It's layered. Let me just go to here. Yeah, see how it's layered, right? It's high, but nothing low. And so we're going to talk about intakes and exhausts when we do this today, but there's air getting in somewhere because of the volume, right? It's not going into decay, right? The fire's not going into decay, so we know it's getting air, and it's pushing out up high and sucking in down low. And that's going to get reinforced. I'm going to pop it forward till they're going to start venting, opening this door, and as they cut, right, they're going to make the saw width, the width of the blade of the saw, they're going to make a hole in here. And we're going to notice that there's no smoke coming out, right? Even with as much pressure as big as the fire is in this place. And let me turn that volume off just so you can hear it. But they start working here, and the air is going in, right? So this makes this an intake. And so one of the things that we want to just recognize is when you're at the task level here, right? So this firefighter's focused in on this task of getting this door open. working with the officer, but really focused in. And that's great because you have to be focused on the task, but you also want to understand, right, how your task goes into the overall strategy and tactics of the incident, plus the impact that your task is intended to have and could have on the outcome, right, or what's going to happen. And so we can see here, right, whatever that is, 1/4 inch opening, 3/8, there's no smoke coming out. So the anticipation would be that there's air going in. And if they're going to cut this big section of the door out, right, that's going to mean that we're going to add a lot, that's going to be a big opening. We're going to add a lot of ventilation to this fire, which right now I'd say is probably, even though it's significant, it's creating a lot of heat, a lot of energy, is still right on the edge of being ventilation controlled, because the building itself, even though it's not super airtight, it is restricting the flow of fresh air / oxygen into the space, right? So as they get going here, and so we're going to see the same thing as he cuts until we get up to the point where they're going to actually open this door, and I'm just going to pop forward to that so we can watch a little bit, right? So now that door is going to be, their opening is going to be complete, and they're going to pull the section out. You see that there? Pull the section out, and look at how instantaneously it's drawing, right? It's drawing air in, and just take a note of the fire conditions here, and then we're going to watch, again, it's a little jumpy, but we're going to watch as this fire has a little bit of a chance to develop while they finish setting up. Okay, they got their lines there. It's not charged yet, but it's there and it's ready. But notice that this fire is really rapidly extending, right, and growing larger. Even in just a 20, 30 seconds, whatever this is, where I'm going to try and grab it. Okay, so, I just missed it. Let me try and go back just a touch to get it. So where you can see this, right? So look at the difference here, right? Look at the difference here. Let's make it now. So this is 6:49. Let me go back to when they're just opening it up. Okay, still pretty significant, right? Oh, sorry, I should have, anyway, let me get this going just as we're opening up, right? So let me get a good, see if I can get a good shot, right? 6:24, so we're only talking about 20, 25 seconds difference. Now, is there a significant fire here? Yes, but notice that it's not banked down thick, black, nasty all the way to the opening, right? The fire is going to grow quickly, and I'll just let it run, and we can watch it do that again here as the fire, and until they get that line flowing, right? So once we add ventilation, we know that the fire is going to grow rapidly until we get water application. And so understanding where your task is within the sequence, what's going to happen next, what needs to be in place for that to happen, that's all part of the dance, right? It's all part of the dance we're doing when we start these, when we arrive and we start to try to have an impact, positive impact on the fire ground. So there we go, water's underway, but a way more significant fire in a super short period of time. And that's just the way it works, right? If that fire's waiting for oxygen, all right? So being able to read the smoke, right back here, being able to read this smoke so that you can see what's going on from our volume, velocity, density, color, and get a read on what your impact's going to be, what you think your impact's going to be, what the intention is, and making sure that we're just understanding, right? It's just a matter of understanding what our business is, how we're going to impact it in a positive way in order to best serve the citizens. All right. So thanks for tuning in today. Spread the word. Please like and subscribe. If you have comments or something you want to add, please add those. And other than that, we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. For Reading Smoke with Phil Jose, I'm Phil Jose, and I'm out.